This coming Saturday is a very significant milestone in the process that we've called Shaped by God Together. This process has been running for over a year. We've had more than 400 local conversations taking place all across Leicester and Leicestershire. And now this coming Saturday, 9th of October, Diocesan Synod will vote on the proposals which have been shaped through this process. In view of the significance of that vote at Diocesan Synod, I thought it worth putting out this short video to say three things in particular. Firstly, to say a big thank you to everybody who has taken part in this process. Nearly 400 local conversations, as I've said. We've also had Bishop's Council meeting with area deans and with lay chairs of deaneries. We've had long discussions with them over several days, and all of that has reshaped the proposals that we are now bringing to Diocesan Synod. I know that these consultations have not been easy. Often it's felt that the proposals are quite abstract and theoretical, and it's been hard to see what's this really going to mean for my local community. But thank you for participating nevertheless, and I'm sure the details will emerge even as parochial church councils are asked to agree proposals for their own local area after further discussion has taken place. So firstly, a big thank you to everybody who has been a part of this process. Secondly, I want to ask for your prayers. We've seen this process all along as a discernment process, trying to hear what God is saying to the Church at this particular moment in our history, particularly now as we, hopefully, God willing, emerge from this pandemic. Such a period of struggle, and one in which the Church has had to be very creative in responding to these changes. So these proposals that are coming to Synod now are an attempt both to respond to the changes that have been going on in society, but also in particular to care for our clergy and our lay leaders who have been finding things even more difficult as they have been more and more stretched and had more and more demands placed on them. So this is about good care for our clergy, but it is also about how we meet the financial challenges that we're facing as a diocese. We've been very upfront and transparent about the significance of those financial challenges and how we have to now address those head on. So please do be praying for Diocesan Synod as it meets. Thirdly, then, a word about the vote that Diocesan Synod will be taking. The proposals now go under the heading of Minster communities, essentially parishes clustering together such that there is mutual support across those parishes, often resourced from a particular Minster church. Now, we don't know exactly what that's going to look like as yet, but nevertheless, a particular hub, if you like, within a particular group of parishes. We are very clear that the parish church remains central to these proposals. PCCs will have to agree any proposals for their own locality. Incumbents will have to agree and be a part of those conversations. The legal rights, if you like, of incumbents and PCCs remain absolutely central, as does the core principle that what we are trying to do here is resource local churches such that they can serve their own local communities. Now, what that will look like in different parts of the diocese is still to be worked out, and that will need further conversations. And we're planning already as to how we might roll out those conversations, probably piloting this in one or two areas to begin with, such that we get a sense of how it works, before then looking at how it might be rolled out more widely across the diocese. So we'll take time over this. We will continue to talk with local churches, and it will be done by agreement together. Some people have asked me what happens if Diocesan Synod doesn't vote this through. What if they reject it? And that's a very fair question, and of course we're a synodical church, so we will respect completely the vote of Synod. But I guess it's worth saying that we will be asking Synod for a 2/3 majority to vote for this, so we want to avoid the Brexit scenario of it just going through by 1 or 2 percentage points. So we're asking for a 2/3 majority. Of course, if it falls short just a little bit of that 2/3 majority, we will no doubt take that as a signal that broadly Synod is in favour of the proposals, but they still need some work on the details. So we'll do that work and we'll bring it back to Synod again. If it falls well short and there's no majority in favour at all, then we will be absolutely clear that that is a rejection of the proposals and we'll need to rethink. Of course, Synod has already agreed a new set of financial proposals for the diocese, proposals which tie ministry within local churches much more closely to what those churches can afford. So the likelihood would be that any plan B, if you like, would have to be based on those financial proposals. But I strongly believe that the proposals we've put together for Minster communities offer the opportunity, shall I say, for churches to grow and to flourish. I say offer the opportunity because we know that growth is the gift of God. It's not to do with how we structure ourselves as churches. Those structures can help or hinder growth, of course, but ultimately it's God's work to grow the church, and we seek only to respond and work with God. So I do believe these proposals offer an opportunity for churches to flourish and to grow. And that's my great hope through this whole process, that indeed even through the process of these conversations, so that would aid us as we as a diocese seek to strengthen the links between different churches such that we can strengthen one another in our own local contexts. So thank you for all that you have been doing over this past year as this Shaped by God Together process has rolled out. Please do pray for us, and of course we'll let you know the outcome of the vote at Synod on Saturday as soon as possible, and indeed I hope to do another video next week to be able to say a little bit more about it. Thank you very much.